Okay, so I'm going to start with a couple announcements. I even made a list so that there's none that I forget. Several questions about 2021. I'm not sure yet, to be honest with you. My calendar is getting very, very full, so I'm not sure if these lives are going to continue. I will definitely be here next Saturday for our last live together. I've thoroughly enjoyed doing these since March, but now what's happening is real life calendar is filling up. But I have several Zoom opportunities for you, which I'm going to tell you about. So first one is this Tuesday, which is December 15th. I'm teaching at 6 p.m. free yoga class. All you have to do is go to Mind Body Social, click on the link, and then the password is Zoom, which is all lowercase. That's going to be an hour, all levels flow. On January 8th, I have 5 spaces left for our yoga retreat. So if you're in South Florida, it's at the Hyatt Place, Boca Raton. I have the most amazing healers and experts. One is Michelle Martin, who's going to do chakras and crystals, and you'll leave with your own crystal. And then Shirley Gilad is going to guide us in a hypnotic meditation that will be never, ever, ever words can express unreal. January 12th is our next yoga class on the terrace there. So I have several of you who have asked me about that. And it's 10 a.m., 1 hour, $10. And all of this is always going to be in my stories, so you can always follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And then the last announcement is starting on January 13th, I'm doing Zoom yoga. I've partnered with Denise over at the Savda Wisdom Center. And what we're going to do is each week have different specialists come on. It's a 3-week series. You can participate in just one class for $25, or the early bird rate is $60 for all 3. I'm going to be leading yoga, and then we'll have each expert each week. One's going to talk about essential oils, one's going to talk about mindfulness, and the other is about grounding. So I hope you can join and stay tuned for other opportunities in 2021. All right, enough of all that. Let's get started. Hi, I see you. I was just making some announcements. So for those of you that are coming on now, make sure to rewind after class so you can learn about different ways to catch me teaching yoga, both on Zoom and in person. Alrighty, comfortable seat. We've got an important theme as per usual. Let me just find what I did with that hair tie. Here it is. So comparison. It is coming up every way you look, right? And we all do it. But something that has always stuck with me is that there's always going to be someone that has more than you, okay, in different category. And then there's going to be someone that's less than you. And that could be financially, that could be aesthetics, that can be weight, that can be yada, 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 you fill in the blank. And when we compare, we're like stealing away our joy. So the quote that I had up is that there's enough time for the sun and the moon to shine when they're ready. So try your hardest, especially these days, to keep the focus physically on the yoga mat when we're on our 4 corners, but then like taking it with in the way that you live life, okay? Because it's never going to feel good. The only person we really need to compare ourselves to is the one we see in the mirror, ourselves. So as you find this comfortable seat, you can have your hands facing down. It's more grounding and rooting, or the palms facing up if you are just so receptive to the gifts coming your way. Happy Hanukkah. We've got less than 2 weeks until Christmas. It's a busy time of year, and it's important to find that connection within. Leaning back slightly, the eyes are closed. You can feel as if your spine is super tall, so you might even lean back a little bit so you could feel that there was like a string that someone was pulling through the crown of the head up towards the sky. All the while, the sitting bones root down. Bring the hands into heart center. I want you to bow the chin to your fingertips and just think, maybe today or this past week, were you being human and comparing yourself? This is not fair, that victim mentality, or how come this comes so easy to someone else? And then forgive yourself for being human, right? It's all good. Even I do it. I'm a yoga teacher and I know better. But this is a reminder that when we catch ourselves doing that, we go back to our gratitude, the things that we do have. Maybe setting this intention or dedication to yourself today, filling your cup so that it runneth over. When you're ready, opening the eyes, send your prayer hands above, overhead, open out the arms, and then exhale, take them by your side. And let's just fold over our lap to explore how the hips are. You can melt the forehead. You could take prayer hands, resting the third eye, maybe lifting the thumb so you can make that connection here. Starting that Ujjayi breath if you haven't already. It's going to create more heat within so that the muscles are nice and warm as we start to awaken and move and strengthen. Go ahead and take a walk over to the right. Just explore what's happening here. Think about the left sitting bone rooting down as you find this yummy stretch. And come to center and take it over to the left. And I do want to note that like each theme that we have, right, in our yoga class, they all coincide with each other. Slowly coming back to center, walking yourself upright, and then let's come on to all fours. So spreading the fingers out nice and wide, leaving the wrists underneath the shoulders, and then the knees directly under the hips. We're going to take dancing lion today. So taking the hips back towards the heels and up and around, almost like an up dog. And you can close your eyes. I like to soften the elbow. I like to get my head involved. So it's kind of like a silly looking position, but we don't care. It's all good. And once you do 3 to the right, just take it the other way. You might get some natural adjustments. So you get to be your own chiropractor, right? Getting those pops and cracks as we lubricate the joints. And then you can find neutral tabletop. From here, let's reach the right arm up to open the shoulder, threading the needle. Right shoulder lowers down behind the left wrist. Right ear comes down. Spread the fingers wide. You can take the left arm behind the low back, maybe reach for the hip pocket on the right side. Maybe adding in balance, extend that left leg, lift it maybe so it's hip height. And if you've mastered this, you can take quad stretch, bending the heel to the glute, and with the left hand, drawing the heel in even closer. When you're ready to release, knee down, hand down, reach that right arm up, acknowledge the space, and then exhale, taking the hand down. Left arm to the sky, thread the needle, just opening up here, temple lowers down. This right arm could wrap behind you, left hip pocket engaged. You can extend that right leg, either keeping the toes on the earth or lifting the leg so it's hip height. And then maybe bending the heel to the glute with your right hand, help yourself get that quad stretch. Slowly release, knee down, hand down, left arm opens out. Exhale, take it down. From here, walk your hands just a little further forward. We're gonna come into a turbo dog. Tucking the toes, lifting your knees, pushing the hips all the way up. Shake your head no. Shake your head yes. And then when you're ready, take it for a slow walk, straightening through one leg and the other. Going back and forth and just noticing the body that showed up. Is it the first time you're practicing in a while? Are you feeling a little sore? Maybe lifting the heels high, coming up on all 10 toes. You can take them to the right, push the mat forward, look under the left arm. Good, lift the heels nice and high, take them left, look under the right arm. And then find down dog. For alignment, let's shift forward into plank. That way you know if you moved your hands enough forward. And without moving the hands or feet, just lift the hips up and back. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and then open mouth sigh. Starting to release, surrender while we ground. And then looking to the top of your yoga mat, let's step the feet all the way. You can tippy toe, the knees can be soft if you wish. Feet will come to the top of the mat. I'm going to turn to face the cameras and just hanging here. If you want to lace your hands behind the nape of the neck, you can give your head a little traction. Maybe swaying side to side. I know many of you like to grab opposite elbows here. Gives you a little bit of traction as you sway. And then let's release the elbows. So now the fingers root down towards the mat. Keep a slight bend in your knees. And we're going to ragdoll all the way up to standing. So pushing into the feet, roll up. One vertebra at a time, shoulders up, back, and down. Nicely done. Let's bring the toes together. Mountain pose. We're at the top of our yoga mat. Sun salutation A. On an inhale, arms reach up. Look up towards your fingers. And then exhale, take it down all the way. Once your hands come down, bend your knees as much as you'd like. And then inhale to create this nice flat back. You can bring your hands on the shins or even the thighs. So the crown reaches forward while the tailbone roots back. And then exhale, release. Rooting the hands now, stepping back, coming into plank pose. We're gonna hold this one for 3 breaths. Modify by dropping the knees. Think about pulling the lower belly up and in so we really ignite that core. And then first one, we're gonna lower to the belly. So chaturanga, elbows bend back as you lower the chest, your hips, the tops of the feet. Cobra pose, hands in line with the chest. Draw the elbows together, look up, lift your chest. Exhale, release. And then taking another back bend, maybe moving into up dog if you're ready. Tops of the thighs lift off the mat, so the only things touching are the tops of your feet and your hands here. And then we'll meet back in our downward facing dog, getting nice and warm. If you're still needing a little bit of movement, warming up, feel free. Otherwise, if you find stillness, you can work on the alignment, maybe peeking towards your hands, thinking of the thumb and the pointer finger not only making an L shape, but then the middle finger pointing forward. Biceps frame the ear, chest pulls back, looking towards the navel between your feet. Shin bones back, heels down, one more breath, hips high. And then look to the top of your mat. You can bring your toes together, either taking the baby steps if you're ready to lunge or hop your feet to your hands. As we inhale, take the flat back. As you exhale, fold it in. This time, reverse swan. So our arms reach out and up. Exhale, arms by your side. Okay, opening the shoulders, feet separate hips distance apart, lacing the fingers behind the back. Inhale, lift up, and then exhale, fold forward. So the crown of the head lowers towards your mat. If the hamstrings are tight, it's okay to keep the bend in your knees. Arms reaching overhead, and then once we find that, we can think about lifting the sitting bones, which is going to straighten out your legs. So just opening up everything, right? We don't want to feel tight. We want to feel open, spacious, and alive. Now to come out, keep the arms bound and with a flat back, rise. Releasing the arms by your side, big toes together. Chair pose, 5 breaths. So we sink down, fingertips brush the ground. That way you know you're low enough. Because some of us are like all the way up here, and we really need a squat. And then reaching the arms up if that's all right. Make sure you see your 10 toenails. Sometimes I like to lift up my 10 toes and then root them down. And then draw the lower belly up and in. So it's a slight pelvic tuck. Arms reach up. Final breath. Exhale, fold forward, let it go. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, hands root. You can step or jump back. Okay, your choice. All the way or halfway down. Inhale, cobra, or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg rises. Open, bend, and stretch. Maybe rotate the ankle. Maybe you like hip circles. All right, take what you need today. And then square the hip. So right leg extends behind you, toes are down. Look forward, right knee through. And then step the right foot to the right thumb. Release the left knee onto the mat. Hands walk up that right thigh. Let's take a crescent lunge. If you're ready, arms can reach up. Maybe taking your cactus or lacing fingers behind the back. Knuckles run down that left thigh as you lift the sternum. And then hands are going to frame the right foot, half Hanuman, half split. So extend the right leg. The toes face up as you bend the elbows, getting the hamstring stretch. If you like to sit in Thunderbolt, you can sit back on the left heel and fold it in this way. As long as the right hamstring is getting the love, I'm good. All right? You're good. We're good. And then when we're ready to release, we find the lunge again. Left toe lifts, left knee lifts, step back, and voila, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, take it back. Left leg open, bend and stretch. Rotate, figure eight. And then once you explore, square the hip, look forward, left knee to the nose. You can give it a smooch. Voila. Left foot to the left thumb. Release the right knee, release the top of the foot. Hands on the thigh, lift up. As you're ready, adding on. Goalpost, lacing. You can even reverse the thumb. Opening up, lifting up, chest, throat. And then hands frame the left foot. Half Hanuman, half a split. Extending the leg, flex the toes. Maybe today you want to take Thunderbolt. It's okay in the knee, sit back on the heel, fold in. Here, priority is left hamstring. Are you getting the stretch? And then to release, re-engage the lunge. Right toe tucks, right knee lifts, step left leg back, and chaturanga. We're warming up. Exhale, pulls you back. All right, adding that together, preparing for sun salutation B. Big toes together, soften your knees, look where you want to go, and then your feet come to your hands lightly. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, full chair pose, one breath. Come to stand, release the arms. All right, here we go. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, root your hands, jump or step back. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, dog. Right foot, right thumb, warrior one. Left foot flat, 45. Right knee, right ankle, arms reach up, we hold. Right hip draws back. Left one's coming forward, heart rate's going up, it's all good. Opening the arms like rays of the sun, especially through the fingertips. Maybe taking a slight back bend, one more breath. Exhale, handspring the right foot, step back, lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Left foot, left thumb, right foot 45 degrees, left knee, left ankle. Root, we rise. Right hip drawing forward. Keep tracking that left knee forward so the thigh is parallel. Lengthen through the side waist, open the hands, breathe in and out through the nose. Last inhale, tilt the ears back. Exhale, hands frame left foot, step back and lower. Inhale, back bend of choice. Exhale, you have 5 breaths in your dog. We're knowing you can always release to the knees, take a child's pose. And even for one moment, if you're catching that glimpse of non-thought, you're not thinking ahead, you're not thinking back, that is the magic of the yoga. We calm the mind, we open the body, the soul is heard. Take your last inhale, empty it out, and then bring your toes together, look forward lightly, bring your feet to your hands your way. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold it in, chair pose, one breath, finish strong. And then come to standing, releasing your arms. Beautiful. Bring your hands onto your hips. We're going to take a big step open with the right leg, preparing for our Warrior 2 series. So go nice and wide. Edges of the feet should line up with the edges of your mat, and the toes are slightly in like a pigeon toe. All right, lace your hands behind your back, and then fold forward here. Crown of the head lowers down, arms reach overhead. Hug quadricep onto bone. Weight is evenly distributed, not just through the heel, but the balls and edges of the feet, so your inner arches lift. Beautiful. Releasing the hands underneath the shoulders. Walk them forward. Let's take a quick wide leg down dog, just because it feels so nice. Pushing forward, biceps frame the ears. Here the heels root, so we really feel the grounding. then walking the hands back under the shoulders, bring them onto the hips, and with the flat back, come up. So we're gonna turn our right toes towards the back of the mat. Bend deeply into that right knee, opening the arms out like wings, and the gaze is over your right middle finger. Think about wrists lining up over ankles. So if you're leaning forward, let that left arm pull you back just a little, and then press back with the pinky so the chest is open. From here, we're gonna pump the warrior. Straightening both legs, reach your arms up, take an inhale. Exhale back to warrior two. 2 more times, inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, warrior two. Just one more time because it feels good. Hold warrior two, side angle. Right forearm, right thigh. Left arm reaches up. You can extend it bicep over the ear. For those that have a block, you can bring it in front of that foot, or you can bring it behind, okay? See which one gives you a better release. For me, I like bringing it in front because if you take the bind, left arm wraps behind the back and the right arm comes underneath, okay? And you pull that shoulder head back. To release, look down towards the right big toe. Let the left arm pick you up and reverse. Right palm up. Left arm down the back leg, right bicep over ear. So you could stay here. Left arm could come behind your back, reach for the right hip, or you could bind, okay? You take the right hand to the upper middle back, and then the left fingers reach up to meet the right. You can lean back into that right arm. One more breath. Warrior two again, and then we're gonna take half moon pose, one of my favorites. So left hand to the left hip. Your right block could come about 6 to 8 inches in front of your right foot, and then you transfer the weight in the right leg. Right hand pushes into the block, your left arm stacks over. And if you lose your balance, it's no big deal, right? I just did. We do it with grace. If you want more Chapasana, bend left heel back. With your left hand, you could reach for that foot. And if you're feeling playful today, maybe you lift the right fingers off the mat. Even bring the right hand to the heart. I love you, self. I'm proud of you. This has been a challenging year. To release, let the left foot come back to the earth. Cartwheel the arms, warrior two, and then straighten that leg. Hands on the hips, right toes in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hinge forward. So I'm gonna give you yogi's choice here. If you're feeling like that was quite challenging, just fold. Walking the hands in line with the feet, crown of the head down. If you want more of a stretch, turn the fingers behind you and walk yourself even further through. And of course, if you have tripod headstand in your practice, you create a little triangle where the crown of the head lowers down, elbows are bent. I always have to be careful because I've got so much furniture around. And then you can lift the legs overhead. So we'll stay for 3 breaths. Doesn't matter if you're in your fold, if you're playing. Take what you need here. And then when you're ready, we got to do the left side. So hands onto the hips, flat back up. Awesome work. Left toes turn forward, heel to arch alignment. Warrior two. Left knee, left ankle. Opening the arms. And again, finding the alignment here. Left knee tracking towards that middle toe, shoulders on the back body, right wrist over right ankle, and we look past the left hand. Once we set this alignment, we pump the warrior. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, warrior two. One more time, inhale, you are so strong. Exhale, warrior two, into side angle. So legs stay exactly as they are. Left forearm, left thigh, right arm reaches up. Okay, if you want more, extend bicep over ear. Remember, you can use your block or the left hand could come down to the earth. If you're working on your half or full bind, go for it. Just make sure the chest is open. Heart always open because the heart leads the way. And then looking down towards the left big toe, right arm picks you back up into that warrior, and now it's gonna feel amazing to reverse. Left palm up, right arm down the back leg. Stay or bind. Left hand could reach for the mid back and the right fingers can reach up to meet the left. One side might be easier. Notice elbows drive the midline, lean into that left arm. And then return warrior two, half moon. Right hand to the right hip. Remember that left hand could come down to your block. As you transfer the weight into the left leg, your right leg lifts. Flexing the foot, maybe reaching the right arm up, stacking. Maybe Chapasana, right heel to the glute, reach back for that heel. And just maybe, the left fingers lift up. You can even bring the hand to the heart center. Managing those spine twitch muscles in the left ankle, we're grateful for them because they help us not fall. Bust our butt. Right foot down, cartwheel the arms, straighten left leg, you made it. Hands on your hips. We're gonna come to goddess squat now. So toes go out, heels stay in, sink the hips down. You can bring your hands inside the thigh, kind of pulling the knees apart. And then lower your right shoulder to the center, look left. Come up, lower left shoulder to center, look right. And then come up. We're gonna do an eagle arm. So open your arms out like wings. Take your right elbow under the left. Hinge at the elbows, lining up the backs of the hands or the palms. Lifting elbows up, drawing fingers towards the front of the room. Really feeling this nice opening on the upper shoulder. And then release and switch. Left under right, same thing, hinge, grab what you can. Lift elbows up, fingers draw forward, opening up the scapula. Good, how are the legs doing? Release and straighten. All right, turning the left toes back to the front of your mat, soften the knee, and we'll step the right foot up to meet it, mountain pose, cleaning this flight, Vinyasa. Arms reach up, maybe grab a back bend here if you wish. Exhale, fold it forward, take it down. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, root the hands. You can jump or step it back. Inhale, back bend a choice. Exhale, pulls you back. All right, one more standing sequence. You guys still with me? Soft smile on the lips. I'll give you a little break here. Walk your hands back to your feet. And with your peace sign fingers, you're gonna hook your big toes. Inhale, halfway lengthen, and then exhale, fold it in. I'm always turning all which ways to make sure I'm seen on camera. But if you listen to the cues, you're gonna do exactly what you need to do in your home, on your mat, where you're safe. Okay, from here, you're gonna bring your left hand to the left hip. We're gonna keep the peace sign finger bind around the big toe, and we're gonna try to stand while bringing that right knee up. Yeah, kind of hard, right? If you want more, open the left arm out. You can keep the right knee bent as you are, or you can work on extending it. Once you've mastered that, maybe you turn your head to the left. Oh my goodness. Take a chin mudra if you wish. And then when you're ready to release, slowly come back. Whole of the hands now can slide under the feet. So the toes come up to the wrists. After all those planks and chaturangas, it's nice to give a release. You can wiggle the toes. You could fold forward. Hamstring love by straightening out the legs. And then slide your right and left hand back out. Left peace sign finger hook the left big toe. So your right ankle, knee, and hip are all on the same plane as you bring your right hand to the right hip. And then slowly push down into the leg. See if you take this left knee up with you. So this is already hard. You're literally balancing on one leg. But if you open the right arm, it's going to counterbalance. Maybe you can extend that left leg out. Yeah, so we did all those hip openers. Maybe you turn your head to look to the right. It's a little more challenging. Chin mudra. And then when you're ready to release, bend the knee. Draw the hip closed. Release and fold. Bring your hands onto your hips and with a flat back, all the way up to standing. So we're at the back of the mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward. Walking your hands forward, finding your dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up. Bend the right knee, and you're going to take it underneath you and then shoot it out to the left. So fall in triangle. You're on the blade of the right foot. Left arm reaches up. From here, left hand comes down. If you're feeling strong, you can grab a little chaturanga push-up. Inhale, right leg lifts up. Little core work. Bend the right knee, right tricep. You're gonna hover and hold. Exhale, take it back. Right knee, left tricep, hover and hold. Exhale, take it back. Last one, right knee through the forehead, round and curl. Exhale, take it back. And then we're coming into yummy pigeon. Slide your right knee behind the right wrist. Shin lowers down, release that left leg back. If you want to support your right hip, you'll put any bolster or block there. If you want more of a stretch, you can open out that shin. Of course, this can be done on your back with figure 4. Once you create the length in the spine, slowly begin to melt belly in your chest and your forehead. Then for the first time in this class, we're going to shift to that passive mentality. The letting go. Becoming the observer. And then practicing the non-attachment. Circumstances, outcomes, expectations of others. Trusting that there's something bigger out there that's working for your highest good. Even when it does not make sense in this moment. Let's walk our arms over to the left. So you're going to get a little deeper stretch as you fold over your foot. And then this is your final 3 breaths. So you can walk your arms back to center. If you want to be more passive, you can even take the tops of the hands to rest outside your hips, taking the left ear to the mat. If you want to ignite one more stretch, maybe bending that left heel to the glute, walking the hands in. You can try for Mermaid. Left toes come to the eye of the elbow crease. And then once we reach the right arm up, you can bend and find the bind here. When you're ready to exit, we're going to tuck the left toes to lift the left knee, and that way we can safely take the right leg up and back. If you want to flip your dog, you can look under the left shoulder, taking the ball of the right foot to the earth, knee is bent, hips lift up, right arm reaches overhead, wild thing. And then it's up to you. Do you want to stay in dog and wait for the left side, or do you want to keep the right leg elevated and take a 3-legged vinyasa? Lowering down, inhaling up, exhale back, right foot meets the left. Taking 1 inhale and 1 exhale. All right, left leg rises. We're going to bend the knee, take it under the torso, and shoot it out to the right for falling triangle. So you're going to stay on the blade edge, the knife edge of the left foot as the right arm reaches up and the hips reach up. And then right hand lowers down. Again, it's an optional chaturanga push-up. Exhale, take left leg back. All right, core work. We're going to bend the left knee, left tricep. Hover and hold it here. Exhale, take it back. Cross the midline, take it to the right tricep. Hover and hold it. Exhale, reach back. Last one, left knee to the forehead, round and curl. Exhale, back, pigeon pose. So we exert the energy and the effort, and then we melt. Releasing the top of the right foot. Maybe using your prop, maybe walking that left shin out so it's more parallel to the top of the mat. As you're ready, melt. Let go. Lots of emotions, especially during this holiday season. And then you add COVID to the mix. I mean, holy cow. So letting all of that just detangle and unravel. Finding our clarity, our good. You can walk the arms over to the right. So you're folding over that foot. Just gets a little bit deeper in that left outer hip. Maybe taking some affirmations I am proud of, filling in the blank, having compassion. And then as you walk your hands to heart center, you can stay here with the forearms on, you can extend out, you can take right ear down, hands by your side. It's the final 3 breaths, okay? If you want to bend the right heel back, draw the left heel in, and then the toes go to the right elbow crease. And then as you stay here, this left arm could reach up and maybe you find the bind. If you do, you can lean back, opening that chest. Finishing that 3rd exhale. And then slowly unravel. So hands under shoulders, right knee lifts, left leg up and back. And you can just open, bend, and stretch if you're really to flip the dog. Left toes down, left arm up. And then if you're being playful here, you can even try to go into your full wheel. Anyone ever do that transition? It's kind of fun. And then it's up to you. This will be the last vinyasa opportunity. Maybe the leg stays lifted as you shift forward and lower. Inhale. Final dog of the practice. So right in this moment, compare, right, to the first down dog. How has your body responded? The shoulders, the spine, the hips, the hamstrings, all now nice and warm. Everyone's getting nice and stretched and toned. And then from here, look forward. You're going to drop your knees down to the earth, preparing for a back bend, camel pose. So you're going to come to standing on the knees. Beginners, tuck the toes. More advanced, you can keep the tops of the feet on the earth. So hands are on the lower part of the back as the hips go forward. We lift the chest, we look up. This is a beautiful arch in the back. You're getting that extension here. If you want to add on, the right hand could reach back for that right ankle and the left hand for the left. If you feel safe, you can even drop the head back to really open the throat chakra, the 5th. Being direct, communicating, speaking the truth. We'll take a lion's breath. So inhale through the nose and stick out your tongue, open up. Ha! Good. When you're ready to release, the hands come back to support the low back. Slowly release. Bring the knees together. Sit back on the heels. Place the dominant hand on your lap and the passive hand on top. Connect the thumbs and just calm that central nervous system. All is well. So from here, we're going to counter that. You can reach your hands back for the heels for either a child's pose variation or rabbit. For rabbit, you tuck the chin and you lower the forehead towards the knee. So it's kind of like a child's pose if you just want to stay here. If you want to lift up, the crown of the head comes to the earth while the sits bones lift up. So it's a nice stretch, just counter action to what we did. Taking the spine like a slinky. It's a really nice release in the upper back and the neck. And then when you're ready to release, sit back, lift up, and just swing your knees over to the right, extend the legs forward. We made it, we're on the ground. Moving any flesh from the sits bones back, staff pose, Dhanurasana. Wrists under shoulders. Spine ridges straight, feet flexed, heels may elevate off. So everything is engaged, the chin is slightly tucked. We're totally holding on to this energy in this moment, like a container, like a vessel. And then on an inhale, we reach it all the way up and then hinge forward and grab whatever you can, your feet, your legs. If you do have your strap nearby, I recommend putting it over the balls of the feet, and that way the spine is nice and long. So even if you're here pulling in, the hamstrings and the spine get this beautiful opening. Right? Props are the enhancement. When our limbs or our muscles are not quite able to do what the mind wants it to, we have these assists. And then slowly release. We're gonna take a reverse table now. So you're gonna bend the knees. The heels are in line with the sitting bones. The hands come 6 inches behind you. And I want you to lift your hips as high as your knees. So go even higher. And then again, if the neck allows, you can let it draw back, opening the throat again. And then from here, you can take your upward facing. So if you straighten out your legs, it's like a reverse plank. And then lift your hips. Whenever you're ready to release, either with the knees bent or straight, tuck that chin in as you lower your bottom. Beautiful. Bring the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana, heels in nice and close. Edges of the feet glue together, but we open the arches. Inhale, lift up nice and tall. Exhale, hinge it forward. You can use the elbows and forearms against the shins, opening the knees. And then once you've gotten this nice release, if you want, you can take a diamond pose. So you walk your heels out a little further and then thread the forearms under the calves. And maybe the forehead comes to the inner arches of the feet. So we kind of get more into the IT band in the lower part of the back. Envisioning that every inhale is just healing and lighting up the areas of tension so that it can dissolve. Recycling it into something beautiful and beneficial and positive. And then slowly come up, close the knees together. We're coming onto our backs. You can extend the legs forward, reach the arms forward, tuck that chin, and then lower down, trying not to let the mid-back be the vortex, right? So low back comes down, and then the mid-back, here it is, and then the upper back. Reaching arms overhead, take a nice stretch, and then take the knees into the belly. So because we've done the back bends between your up dogs, we did the camel, right? I'm gonna give you an opportunity to do one more just because we opened the shoulders. So you could take bridge pose, I'll cue it, and then if you want to go up into full wheel, you can. So lifting the hips for bridge. Lacing the fingers, shimmy the right and left shoulder closer to each other, push into the knife edges of the hands, knees draw forward, toes stay in line instead of opening out. And then moving on, you can reach arms overhead, bend the elbows, hands frame the ears, come into the crown of the head, maybe pushing up. Again, keeping your toes forward. It's almost like you're holding a block between your knees, so you keep it hip distance apart. Oh, and then when you're ready, tuck that chin, lower down, draw the knees into the belly, flatten the spine. It should be a good moment here. And then we'll do another inversion, legs up the wall pose. So letting that circulation drain from the feet, stopping at the hip. If you have your shoulder stand or plow, lifting the hips up, I like hands supporting the low back, draw elbows in, and then that way you get the alignment, shoulders, knees, ankles, pointing the feet but flexing the toes. For plow, you can do one or both legs over your head, toes can touch the earth. For ear pressure, bending the knees around the ears, perhaps reaching back for the ankles. Just getting a nice release in the shoulders here. And then when you're ready to come down, the arms go on like a brake pad to your mat. So that way when you lower your spine, we all are back and legs up the wall pose. And then from here, just bend your knees. Open the arms like a T. Take left knee over right and just let your knees fall to the right. Try to get them as close to the forearm as you can. And then the right hand could come on top of the leg. Melt the left shoulder down, turn your head left. Good moment. There's a soft smile on the lips that naturally occurs as the body is grateful that you took this time to roll up the mat. It's the hardest part is showing up, you know? Even if you do 50 or 70%, you'll never regret it. Taking care of uniting. That's what the yoga is about. Mind, body, soul. Releasing that right arm. Take the knees back to the midline And then just switch the cross. So right over left. Sometimes I put the left toes down, I scooch the hips to the right. That way when the knees come up towards that left forearm, I'm a little deeper. Left hand can come on top of the thigh, melt the right shoulder, look towards the right hand. Just wringing it out. The clarity usually comes in right here. And this is you at your truest self. You know, we just add these layers from the way that we were raised in society. So it's just a matter of peeling those layers back to get to the true essence. Left arm releases, head to center, knees release. And then go ahead and bring the soles of the feet one more time to kiss. Lower the heels to the earth. Let's bring the right hand on the belly and the left hand on the heart, just noticing how you feel. Focusing again on gratitude. And then opening the arms either out like a cactus for goddess. Fingers can gently touch above head if that's comfortable. Closing the eyes, relaxing the jaw. Separate the teeth. The bones are heavy into the earth. The muscles are relaxed. And this is where you absorb the benefits of the yoga, the asana practice. And only when you're ready, coming into final shavasana. So the right arm anchors down about 8 inches away from the hip. And then the left. Keep your palms up so you get the receiving energy. Right limb extends, left limb extends. Perfect timing. So you can stay in Shavasana as long as you wish. That's the beauty of doing this practice in the privacy of wherever you're tuning in from. But I'm going to wake you up since it's been our full time, starting with the fingers, the toes, and then taking the knees into the belly. You can massage the low back and kidneys, rocking side to side. Extending the right arm, letting the knees fall to the right for your fetal position. And then coming up to seated to conclude our practice. Keep your eyes soft so the journey stays within. Hands back to heart center. Bow the chin to your fingertips. Reflecting back to your intention and our group theme about not comparing ourselves to anyone. You are the sun and you are the moon. And it's just a matter of when it's your time to shine the light. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you're able to make it next week as we conclude our final live class together. Namaste.